Good day, everyone. How you doing today? It's Labor Day. Beautiful day from the Quad City here, Rock Island, Illinois. I'll be heading out in a little bit. Beautiful day. Hope it is where you are. But it is here in the Midwest. Very nice day. So my talk today is about, I'm going to title this, the difference between the mentality of a right-wing voter and a left-wing voter, because it's becoming very serious right now. A lot of people, I think, don't understand that the left-wing ideology and the right-wing ideology. Now, let me get this straight. Most of the left-wing right now represents the Democrats. Most of the right-wing Republicans. However, there are, of course, crossovers. There are a lot of rhinos in the Republicans that are not very, that tend to go more left-wing. I got that. But I'm talking about, the ones who are legitimately, and there are those in the Republican Party and candidates and people who vote that have right-wing ideology, left-wing ideology, not just political, moral, everything, okay? There's a huge difference in the way people vote, and a lot of people not understanding that. For one, okay, the left-wing does not see things at all like the right-wing. For instance, I look at it as a right-wing voter. Christian man. We're going to go about morale. I'll talk about that in a little bit because that's one of the biggest things is ideology. But I look at things, not only the ideology, the abortions and all of, I believe the nonsense from the left. But the basic thing right now is that most middle-income Americans are suffering. Regardless if you're a liberal, Republican, whatever you are, you're suffering. Economically, disaster right now. It's the worst I've seen it in my lifetime. Only going to get worse if this regime continues. That's just a reality that a lot of people are seeing. And I'm seeing it. Not because I'm smart, because you just go out there as a consumer and see what's going on with housing prices and food and everything else. Travel, everything else. Airline tickets, you name it. Sporting events, baseball games, concerts, everything is just skyrocketed up. Okay? The left wing, however, that's not a priority to them. You think it would be, but most of them it's not. And you can see this with the Trump deranged syndrome. And like I said before, I'm not a Trumper. Okay, I don't put my allegiance to one man. Being a Christian person, I have an ideology I believe in, a way of thinking. I think it's good for this country. I love America. And I think Donald Trump did a great job as a president. I don't give a shit about his personality. You don't like him or whatever. You don't have to. He did a great job for middle America when he was in. The left knows that he can do that again and expose. The left knows. The left leaders know how bad things are going economically. They know that, but they never admit it. They either lie and say things are going well every now and then, which is incredible. Schumer, the economy is so good. Yeah, okay. Or they just don't, they concentrate on other things because they can't, they know that their regime and their leader is inept, incredibly inept. And things that I don't think anybody, let me tell you something right now, nobody who voted for Biden right now can tell me they expect things to be this bad. Nobody. If you do, you're lying. Okay? The left knows this. So they attack, Trump is now in the media. They attack him. He's the bad guy. Trump hasn't been president for now almost 3 years. We're in September now. Okay? The problem is with your regime right now and your extremely inept leader in his happy cohort of friends that are supporting him. It's not just Biden. I know that. You have a puppet for a leader, a man that can't even walk. He shows signs of dementia. And you sit there and attack other people because you can't deal with it directly. Ask a lot of liberals what the problem, Donald Trump, Putin, this one, that one. They will never talk about what the problem is right now because either one, they don't want to because they know that's really the reality, or they're being fooled and listen to the media that all this other stuff, you get rid of Donald Trump, even if they get rid of Donald Trump and they throw him in jail, or Trump doesn't win this election, which could happen, okay? The left is very crafty. Let's say Trump doesn't win this election. If he, assume he's going to run, right now it looks like he's going to get the nomination if he's allowed to run because he's way ahead of his other candidate. Let's say he runs with Biden or God forbid it's Gavin Newsom. I'll go to that in a second. If Trump loses or something happens to him, okay, do you think that's going to make the country better? No, it's not. That's the problem with all this. It's a waste of time. We are suffering daily, middle America. All right? And going after Trump is a waste of time. That's not the problem. You eradicate him, it's not the problem. You still have the problem in the White House with the rest of the people there. Okay? This, what you're seeing, is a socialist, Marxist type of Democrat party. Again, I said this before, I'm not going to belabor the point. This is not your father's Democrats. This is a very aggressive left wing. And they admit it, that they're into Black Lives Matter, who they support, supports Marxism. All right? It's such an hypocrisy, which they support Margaret Sanger, who said blacks should be eradicated, biggest racist of all. There's so much hypocrisy in liberal, extreme left-wing social Marxism on the Democratic Party now. That's why they don't want Kennedy. I said it before. Kennedy is the most closest to a moderate they have. It would probably have a good chance to win because of his name. He's not going to, no way I think he's going to be allowed to win. They don't want him. He's not progressive enough for the left. He would have been 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Not now. They want extreme left wing. And here's the difference. Here's the real difference. What I'm looking at, practicality. Yes, moral values are very important. Abortion, I think you've heard me talk about that before, and that's a big play. I'm not going to have to go through that point because that's a huge play. Things like that. But I'm looking at practicality. Middle America, myself and other people are getting affected by this. But the left-wing voters don't care. They either want kids coming out who just want free stuff and free college pay. They haven't lived in the world yet. Like I said, or there's older people who have money who don't care. They vote on ideology. They're told that everybody who votes right wing is a racist. That is a huge mantle. It's stupid. It makes no sense. It's like saying, well, if you vote left, you're a communist. Would people like being called that? No, they wouldn't. And it's not true. Because not everybody votes like that, just thinking like that. I know that. I just think they're misled. But they're told everybody, well, Biden said it when he was campaigning the first time. And they pulled the George Floyd bullshit out of their ass, and basically Biden's stuff got erased. But he said it. You're not a real black man if you vote for Trump. Basically, that's the mantle. That is the biggest mantle. You are a racist, bigot, hater if you don't vote for our ideology. Okay? Extreme nonsense, but that's what they're pushing. And that really plays in a lot of people. Some people get fooled and think that. Although Trump's life history is anything but racist. But I'm not going to go into that. He did more for blacks than Obama's ever done. I'm not going to go into that. Just check his history if you don't believe me what he did. NAACP up there with all lefties giving money. I'm not going to go into that. But their mentality is you vote for a right winger. You hate women because you're against abortion. You hate gays because you're not into Pride Month. And you're a racist. All these tabs, senseless tabs that are driving. So what's the definition of insanity? What's that? Doing the same thing, expecting different results? Despite the destruction of our economy, which is only going to get worse with this regime. I'm going to tell you now, on September 4th, 2023, if this regime, it doesn't have to be Biden, this regime, whether it's him or somebody else, continues, you will see a worsening economy by the year. Well, it's happening by the week. I'm talking about every year it would be worse. We just had a big spike in inflation, I believe, last month reading. Okay? It is not going to get better. You are getting what you get with a Marxist socialist style regime. It's happened in the history of the world. The middle class gets squeezed out. All these promises, we're going to tax the rich and all this bullshit, which never works. And we're going to be there for the middle class. No, they're not. You look at Russian communism, you look at everything. Eventually, the middle class squeezed out. Small businesses squeezed out. You have the haves and have-nots. The rich elite and the nothings. And that's how a socialist Marxist regime works. And that's what's slowly happening in this nation. And you're seeing it now. It's not going to change. It's not Trump's fault, Putin's fault, COVID's fault, the fucking Martians from aliens. It's none of them. It's because of what we have for a regime. Don't expect anything different. It's not going to change. And yet people, if it's Trump versus Biden or something like that, knowing this, they'll still vote for Biden because they're told to hate Trump. And they'll screw over many people in this country because the end result of that, when Trump is gone and they can't use him as a whipping boy and they'll probably try to use something else, I don't know what, they'll be exposed. Because this happens the next term, we go into the first year, second year, things keep getting worse and worse and worse, and they will. They will. Then who are they going to blame? Who's it going to be then? All right? You're getting what you're getting. The ideology of the left is woke. It's woke. Abortions. Pride Month type bullshit. Black Lives Matter. Racism. All this pushing this critical race theory. That's what they thrive on. That's what is pushing the agenda of the left voters. Trump is a racist. He's anti-democracy. He's a rotten human being. Everybody who votes for him is the same thing. Don't be like that. Be one of the good guys. It's all rhetoric bullshit, but it's working with a lot of people, especially the young people, and a lot of people, like I say, have money that don't care. They don't care if the economy gets affected because they got they're old, they're retired, they got their house, they got this, whatever. I see it. They don't care. I've worked with those people, been around those people. They don't care. They just don't want to be known as a race. They believe everything the media tells them. Okay? We're seeing what's happening with the FBI. People that are Christian, Catholics, that are traditional Catholic. I'm a traditional Catholic. If you're a traditional Catholic and you go to a traditional mass, they've been cited by the FBI as terrorists. Everybody, that's true, by the way. Everybody that is against this regime is considered an enemy. And it's very scary. That is total. That's what you see in communist Russia. Or you can't go against the government's way of thinking or you're going to be punished. They know Trump was totally against. It's not because they don't like Trump's personality or all these things. They know what he can do if he gets in. Okay? He stopped many good things when he was that stupid Obama tax, Obamacare that he was forcing on people, single people that didn't have insurance. Trump stopped that. That illegal mask, that was a tax. Garbage. Trump stopped that. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of things Trump stopped. The border was starting to be controlled. Obama basically screwed so many people's careers when he was in. Toward the second term, cutting people at 14 years, 15 years, cutting down the forces to the lowest in like 60 years, amount of people. When Trump came in, a lot of those people on the docket to be eliminated in their career now were able to stay in the military. Remember that. He did so much for the military soldiers when he was in that Obama had almost destroyed. So many things he fixed. Now, the way things are so bad in this economy, if he gets in Trump and things start to turn around, it'll really look bad for the liberals. And they know that. They cannot have this guy come in and turn around this mess. That will really put a bullseye on how bad things are with the liberals, the way, the ideology. That's why they don't want Trump. It's not because of all this other bullshit and his personality and all these alleged things. They know what he can do, and they're very scared that he might have an actual chance to win. They're very scared of that. And why wouldn't you when you have an economy that people are getting affected on a daily basis? So I'll wrap it up here. Ideology is different. Okay? I'm not for woke, obviously, and a lot of the right-wingers are not. We also have practicality. The economy. People have to live. They got to buy food. They got to have housing. It's affecting a lot of people. The left, the priority is ideology. Okay? A lot of them, despite knowing what's going down with the economy, will vote still left-wing for Biden, thinking, oh, things are going to get better. They actually believe things are going to get better on this regime. Let's just pray it's not Gavin Newsom in there. Look at California. There's more homeless people. this so-called sanctuary cities that are a disaster with illegals running around doing anything they want, assaulting people. It's a disaster. Highest price to live in California. That's what'll be our country. Pray it's not him, because it can be much worse. Biden's a puppet. His mind is, it's out there, okay? But Gavin Newsom and people like, they are smart. It can get worse. But that's my talk for the day. We have to understand, we cannot, it's difficult to argue on the same level or debate in the same level. Most right-wingers are thinking practicality right now, the economy. Not obviously values too, but the economy right now is restricting people. The left, it's all about their woke ideology, and they will stop at nothing to get it. It's Rick here. God bless. Have a great day.